A North Carolina man is fighting for his life this morning after being bitten by his pet king cobra.
We got 27 good. Whoa!
Pets are meant to bring joy, comfort, and companionship, but sometimes that bond takes a horrifying turn. In rare yet shocking cases, the very animals people cared for ended up consuming them. Whether driven by survival, instinct, or something far more unsettling. Hang on to see the unfortunate fate of those who trusted their pets a little more than needed. Some reality TV challenges push limits, but handling an anaconda, that's a risk few would take. Dutch contestant Imke Wieringa learned this firsthand on Real Girls in the Jungle, a show packed with daring stunts. One challenge had her lifting a massive anaconda, but the snake wasn't exactly on board. It wrapped tightly around her arm, making things tense. As panic set in, on-set trainers quickly stepped in to help. Imke walked away a bit shaken and decided jungle life wasn't for her. Now a well-known TV personality, she looks back on the moment as a wild lesson. Some challenges just aren't worth the squeeze. Las Vegas encounter. Guys, here's a tip if you ever find yourself face to face with a lion. Don't make direct eye contact. It's not exactly a sign of respect in the wild. That's what a newbie trainer at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas learned when he stared a bit too long at a lion. The lion, feeling a little threatened, decided to make things clear. To the trainer's credit, he didn't back down, but that didn't help his situation. Thankfully, the senior trainer and even a lioness jumped in to help out, and the trainer got a valuable lesson on boundaries. As for the lion, it just did what lions do, keep the peace in their space. Friend's nightmare.
I was attacked and mauled by my boss's chimpanzee, Travis.
Sandra Harold had a unique bond with her chimpanzee, Travis, especially after her husband, Jerome, passed. Travis, always escaping and causing a bit of chaos in the neighborhood, was just misunderstood in Sandra's eyes. One day, after giving him Xanax for Lyme disease, things took an unexpected turn. Travis went off on another adventure, and Sandra called her friend Charla Nash to help track him down. But when Charla stepped in, things got a bit more intense than expected. Sandra quickly made a hasty retreat to call for help.
What's the problem there?
When authorities arrived, they were met with a surprising scene. Charla was mauled by the neighbor's dog. She was shaken but okay. And now Sandra supports stronger laws on exotic pets.
He ripped off my face, my hands. They were able to salvage the thumb and sew it on sideways.
Illegal pet. Desi Tuo, an Indonesian scientist, worked at a pearl farm research facility, but she had a bit of an unconventional hobby, keeping crocodiles, even though it wasn't exactly allowed. Among them was Mary, a 700-kilogram crocodile. One day in 2019, Desi went to check on Mary but didn't come back. Her colleagues figured she had just stepped out, but when they checked on Mary the next morning, they discovered something a bit too shocking. It seemed Mary had taken matters into her own hands, leaving only a few clues behind. Authorities arrived, and after some effort, managed to relocate Mary and the other reptiles to proper sanctuaries. Tiger. Antoine Yates loved big cats, so he brought a Siberian Bengal tiger named Ming into his Harlem apartment. Keeping a tiger in a high-rise wasn't exactly legal, so Ming stayed indoors. But a tiger and a small apartment don't mix well. Things got interesting when Yates turned up at the ER with some pretty gnarly scratches, claiming a pit bull was the culprit. The doctors were a bit skeptical, and before long, authorities got wind of the tiger. When they showed up, they found Ming growling away and had to calm the big guy down. Now, Ming's living it up in a sanctuary, and as for Yates, well, he's still into big cats, just with fewer sedatives involved. Bear family.
Yeah, the bears are everything to me. I would do anything for them.
Jim and Susan Kowalczyk have an unusual family member, a massive 1,400-pound Kodiak brown bear named Jimbo. Standing at 9 feet tall, Jimbo has been with them since he was a cub. The couple runs an animal orphanage where they dedicate their lives to rescuing and rehabilitating injured wildlife. Unlike most bears, Jimbo is completely comfortable around humans, often seen playing, cuddling, and even enjoying snacks with his caretakers. Despite his size, he is incredibly gentle with them, showing a deep bond built on trust. Raising such a giant comes with challenges, but for them, Jimbo is more than just a bear. He's a beloved companion who has become an inseparable part of their lives.
This is our life. We're one big bear family.
Pet croc. Erewhon's 6-foot-long crocodile, Kojak, has been part of the family for over 20 years. But let's just say Kojak's no ordinary croc. Erewhon rescued him from some local fishermen when Kojak was just a baby, around 30 centimeters long. Now, Kojak enjoys his days lounging in a small water channel in Erewhon's garden, and he's practically one of the family. Erewhon's convinced that after all this time, Kojak sees him as a friend. Despite one cat-related mishap, Kojak has been a calm presence around the family, even letting the kids have some fun nearby. His weekly routine: fish, baths, and a bit of tooth care. And with that, Kojak's become quite the local star. Who wouldn't want a croc buddy like him? Venomous stunts. Ali Samsudeen, once Malaysia's go-to snake handler, took on some pretty wild challenges, even setting world records with scorpions. Because, you know, who wouldn't want to hang out with thousands of them? Ali was totally into all things creepy and crawly, often found in pits filled with scorpions or surrounded by snakes. He spent 21 days in a glass box with 5,000 scorpions and 40 days with 400 snakes. But one of his cobra stunts didn't go quite as planned. After getting a little too close for comfort, he didn't think much of it at first. He'd been bitten before. But soon, he started feeling off, and his father rushed him to the hospital. Unfortunately, things took a turn, but Ali's fearless legacy and crazy stunts left a mark on the world. Big Bear. In Moscow Oblast, a 2-year-old bear named Seaman lives with his owners, Svetlana and Yuri Pantelinko. Seaman is no ordinary pet. He's the son of Stepan, a bear the couple rescued from a circus in St. Petersburg. In a heartwarming moment, Seaman was filmed walking into a room on all fours before spotting his owner by the window. Without hesitation, he stood on his hind legs, wrapped his massive paws around the man, and gave him a big cuddle. He even licked his face, showing affection like a giant, furry dog. Despite his size and strength, Seaman is completely at ease with his family. The Panteliankos have years of experience with bears, ensuring Seaman is well cared for. However, keeping a bear as a pet is definitely not for everyone. Borges family. Let's meet the Borges family. For them in Brazil, having big cats around isn't just a dream, it's their daily life. Their home in Maringá, Paraná, is shared with 9 fully grown tigers, who roam freely like oversized house pets. These majestic cats swim with them, lounge in the living room, and even join at mealtimes. It all began in 2005 when Ari Borges rescued 2 tigers from a circus, creating a sanctuary in his backyard. His daughters, Nayara, Uyara, and Deusanira, grew up alongside them, confidently walking and feeding them. While most see tigers as wild, to the Borges family, they're just part of the pack. Reindeer.
Well, normally reindeers doesn't want to hang out with people. They don't want to be touched. They don't want to be around people. But this one, he thinks he's a dog.
In Lapland, a reindeer named Atu lives a life quite different from others of his kind. Abandoned as a calf in the Finnish wilderness, he was rescued by a young boy before finding a permanent home with Pia Tukkanen. Raised indoors and bottle-fed, Atu learned to interact with humans in a way most reindeer never do. Unlike his wild counterparts, he enjoys watching TV, eating at the dining table, and even going on regular walks, just like a dog. Pia says most reindeer avoid human contact, but Atu seems to think he's part of the family. Now fully grown at around 100 kilograms, he still loves spending time inside and being around people. Atu may have been born a reindeer, but in his mind, he's just a very large, antlered dog. Pizza lover Gator.
Chips Ahoy. Look. Chips Ahoy, your favorite.
A Florida man found himself in a quirky legal battle over his pizza-loving pet alligator. Named Rambo, the 6-foot-long reptile was not only the man's companion, but also had an unusual appetite for pizza. The man had kept Rambo as a pet for over a decade, even feeding him slices of pizza. But authorities weren't amused. In Florida, it's illegal to own alligators as pets without a permit. The man faced the possibility of losing Rambo to wildlife authorities. Despite the legal issues, the pet alligator's pizza obsession kept people talking, leading to headlines and online debates. Rambo may have been a serious reptile, but he sure knew how to enjoy a slice.
He was in the house. He didn't want to leave. I think it took us like 3 weeks to get him to go back outside. He was on the couch all the time or in the bathtub.
Orphaned gorillas. Raising orphaned gorillas is a challenging yet rewarding task. When these young gorillas lose their families, experts step in to care for them, creating a safe space where they can grow. From feeding to building trust, the caregivers play a crucial role in ensuring the gorillas develop the skills they need for survival. The process involves more than just meeting their physical needs. It's about forming strong emotional bonds that help the gorillas feel loved and secure. These efforts give orphaned gorillas a second chance at life, helping them prepare for a future where they can potentially return to the wild and live. Hippo.
And that day, Humphrey is coming out with his ears flat on his head. And then he go for Marius.
Marius Els, a retired army major, had a pretty close friendship with Humphrey, his pet hippo. Els raised the young hippo on his expansive farm, where they spent lots of time together, swimming, playing, and even riding around. Despite all the warnings about keeping such a big animal, Els figured Humphrey was no trouble at all. But one day, things took an unexpected turn when a family member found themselves in a tricky spot with the hippo. Marius went out to check on Humphrey, but this time, he didn't make it back.
He would still feed him, still interact with him, but he was definitely not as relaxed as he used to be.
Polar bear. In Canada, Mark Dumas and his wife Dawn have a very unusual pet, an 800-pound polar bear named Ag. Instead of a dog or cat, they chose a giant bear. Mark adopted Ag when she was a cub from a zoo, and now they're very close. She even stars in movies and commercials. Mark plays with her, gives her kisses, and even lets her put his head in her mouth without fear. They love swimming together and sometimes have friendly wrestling matches. So, if you ever wondered what it's like to have a bear as a pet, Mark and Ag are proof that it's possible, though a little more intense than a regular pet. Cute elephant. A baby elephant was brought into a family home, and things quickly got out of hand. What started as a cute and playful idea turned into a series of chaotic moments. The young elephant, full of energy and curiosity, knocked over furniture, bumped into walls, and created a mess everywhere it went. Despite all the trouble, it was hard to stay mad at such an adorable creature. With its large ears and trunk, the baby elephant was a handful, but the family couldn't help but laugh at its antics. The elephant was part of a rescue, and caring for such a large animal indoors turned out to be a bigger challenge than expected. Still, the joy it brought to the family made all the chaos worth it. Rama the Kama.
Yeah, of course, it's the first one, yeah.
Meet Rama, the world's first ever Kama, a mix between a camel and a llama. It's not every day you hear about a llama with a hump, right? Born at the Camel Reproduction Center, Rama is the quirky result of a camel and a llama deciding to get together. This hybrid animal combines the camel's endurance and the llama's cuddly nature, making him an absolute charmer. Rama may not be ready to carry a heavy load across the desert, but he sure knows how to steal the spotlight. And don't worry, despite his exotic origins, he's definitely more llama than camel when it comes to the attitude.
The llama and camel speeches together, the long history.
Tiger salamander.
This is my pet eastern tiger salamander. He lives the life of a king, and for the most part, he's a pretty good boy.
This man had a pretty unique pet, an eastern tiger salamander. They've been inseparable for years, like best buddies who never argue over the TV remote. While most people have dogs or cats, he went for the ultimate conversation starter, a salamander. The little guy loved his comfy spots and, surprisingly, didn't mind the occasional cuddle. Guess they'll be together forever, just chillin' and living the salamander dream. Dumpy the frog. This YouTuber's pet is not your average frog. It's a giant one named Dumpy. They've been together for years, creating the ultimate duo. While most people have small, quiet pets, Dumpy is all about big vibes and even bigger jumps. The two have built quite the bond, with Dumpy stealing the spotlight in almost every video. Who wouldn't want a pet that's as chill as a frog and as lovable as a best friend? Oldest pet.
We used to summer in Door County, and George always came with us and enjoyed walking down the beach on Lake Michigan, and he traveled everywhere we went.
A special bond between a woman and her pet tortoise, George, has lasted over 56 years. Jonna Smith received George for her 10th birthday in 1962, and since then, they've been inseparable. George has traveled with her, lived in her college dorm, and even shared a home with Gina and her husband. Despite aging, George continues to thrive, living with Jonna and enjoying fresh lettuce and strawberries.
I mean, he'd ride in my bike basket when I was a little girl.
Rhinoceros iguana.
This is the only animal that I've ever taken in that I've had no luck in any behavioral changes. She was aggressive every minute I interacted with her, tail whip, attempting to bite, and luckily I rehomed her to a really awesome individual.
A YouTuber recently received an unexpected package, a rhinoceros iguana. When the box was opened, the iguana gave a little hello with a quick lick, showing off his confident personality. With his tough appearance and curious eyes, he seemed ready to take over his new home. The YouTuber set him up in a cozy enclosure, complete with heat lamps, rocks, and some fresh greens. Though small for now, this little guy is about to grow into a big, strong reptile. The YouTuber is already fond of him, and it looks like this new addition is going to steal the spotlight.
It's your new home. Yeah, it's your new home, buddy.
Rex.
He's a black throat monitor from Tanzania in Africa. He's a bit bigger than your average sort of lizard that you'll see every day.
Meet Rex, the 18 kg monitor lizard who's not just any pet. He's practically a family member. Living with a family of 4, Rex enjoys a unique life full of adventures. Despite his size, Rex loves going for walks around the neighborhood. He's known to stroll calmly down the street, much like a dog on a leash. It's not every day you see a monitor lizard walking alongside its owners. The family says Rex is a friendly and well-behaved lizard, and they enjoy his quirky personality. With his love for outdoor strolls and his growing popularity, Rex is proving that some pets, no matter how unusual, truly are part of the family. Who knew a lizard could bring so much joy and excitement into a home?
There's bits of like lizard skin around. It's like the bath is black and there's lizard skin everywhere. Like, oh my gosh, really? So Matt's job once he's done is to scrub the bathroom.
Chico Capybara.
We had to put up a privacy fence because even with people that were driving through would see him and slam on the brake. And we thought, we don't want any accidents out there.
Jackie Wren has a unique companion, Chico the capybara. He's not just a pet, but a family member. Jackie lets him snuggle up in bed with her and even shares popcorn while they watch TV together. Chico's love for the family goes beyond the living room as he happily jumps into the pool to join Jackie's grandkids. Known for their gentle nature, capybaras are great with other animals and people, and Chico is no exception. He's become an adored part of the household, enjoying the same comforts and fun as everyone else. Jackie's bond with Chico shows just how special pets can be, even when they're a bit unexpected. Bison.
Imagine having a 2.5-ton bison barreling around your house.
A Texas family made headlines in February 2017 when they welcomed a bison named Wild Thing into their home. What started as a plan for their son to train the bison soon turned into something unexpected. Wild Thing became part of the family. This massive animal, usually found roaming open fields, now shared the comfort of indoor living with the family. It spent time lounging inside, bonding with the family members, and even mingling with their pets. It's not every day you hear about a bison living in a house, but for this family, it became a cherished part of their unique home life.
It's a natural thing. You let your kids in the house, you let your dogs and cats in the house. Why not let Wild Thing in the house?
Rescued turkey.
He certainly is the age of a turkey that would be slaughtered for Thanksgiving dinner.
Leon, the rescued turkey, has a heartwarming story. Found wandering the streets of Ventura County, California, he was lucky enough to be saved by Harvest Home Animal Sanctuary in Stockton. Originally, Leon was headed for Thanksgiving dinner, but his life took a different turn. The sanctuary stepped in, offering him a safe and loving home where he could live without fear. Now, Leon is not just a rescued animal. He's a cherished pet, free to roam and enjoy his days. His story is a beautiful reminder of the impact animal rescue organizations have on saving lives and changing destinies. Leon is living proof that even the most unexpected of animals can become part of a family, proving that kindness can change a life forever.
Really smitten with the fact that he likes to be pet, be this close to human beings after being through so much unknowns as a stray.
Pet pigs.
So how does Tucker help you emotionally?
He relaxes me. He knows when I'm stressed. He'll come over me. He consoles me.
Two families in different parts of the U.S. are fighting to keep their pot-bellied pigs as pets, despite challenges from local regulations and neighborhood complaints. One in Midlothian, Virginia. A family is facing a legal battle to keep their pet pig after discovering that local laws don't allow pigs as pets. Meanwhile, in Little Rock, Arkansas, a family is dealing with complaints from neighbors about the strong odor of their pet pig. Both families argue that their pigs are well cared for and bring joy to their homes, but they are caught between their love for their unusual pets and the rules of their communities.
I believe it's going to be very difficult to grant this request for conditional use permit and then in the future to deny someone else's.
Capybara shopping.
This is a capybara. His name is Javier, and this is a bear cat, and his name is Steve.
A YouTuber decided to take his capybara, Javi, on a trip to PetSmart. Javi, being the curious and friendly animal he is, happily explored the aisles, checking out all the pet supplies. The YouTuber shared how fun it is to have such a unique pet, but also how important it is to take good care of him. The bond between the two was obvious, showing that no matter the size or species, pets can truly become part of the family. It was a lighthearted trip, but it reminded us all of the special connection we can have with our pets.
Right, just getting people to love these animals, and it's cool to come here, and it's great that PetSmart allows us to come here and all these people can meet our animals. I mean, it makes me smile on the inside, there's no doubt about it.
Giant centipede. In Taiwan, a giant centipede is causing a stir online after its owner, Taiwanese student Neil Cheng, posted videos of the giant crawling over his skin. Chung bought the female Peruvian giant centipede in 2014 when she was much smaller. These giant centipedes can deliver venomous bites strong enough to subdue prey up to 15 times their size. While a bite is rarely fatal to humans, it can be extremely painful. Chung, with his experience, feels safe handling the centipede, but warns that such pets should only be handled by experts due to the potential dangers. Gentle giant. In Texas, a man named Vincent Browning decided to test Petco's all leashed pets are welcome policy in the biggest way possible by bringing in his 1,600-pound African Watusi steer, Oliver. The enormous animal strolled right into a Petco outside Houston, his massive horns just barely clearing the sliding doors. Despite his size, Oliver behaved like a well-trained pet, calmly walking inside and even ducking his head to avoid bumping into anything. Employees and customers were stunned but quickly warmed up to the friendly giant, giving him plenty of attention. Petco staff happily welcomed Oliver, proving their pet-friendly policy was no joke. Vincent and Oliver left the store just as smoothly as they entered, making this one of the most memorable Petco visits ever. Most expensive cat.
Okay, he is here, guys. He is so loving. I don't know if you can even hear it. He has a lot of energy, so excuse all that, but he keeps rubbing up against me.
A YouTuber recently brought home an F1 Savannah kitten, one of the most expensive cats in the world. The kitten, named Rambo, isn't for breeding, just a beloved family pet. Unlike typical house cats, F1 Savannahs are part wild, with their lineage tracing back to servals. Despite that, Rambo is settling in well with the family's Maine Coons, blending into his new home effortlessly. The YouTuber shares how Rambo interacts with his new feline siblings, showing off his playful and curious nature. With his tall ears, long legs, and striking spotted coat, he already stands out. Watching Rambo explore and bond with his new family makes for a fascinating experience.
Okay, we're gonna say bye and end the video because he wants to go take a nap.
Juniper.
My name's Jessica, this is Juniper, and I've written a book about our life together.
Juniper, known as the happiest fox in the world, became a viral sensation with nearly 3 million Instagram followers. Jessica Coker from Florida adopted Juniper in 2016 and quickly realized she had to share her adorable pet with the world. Unlike traditional pets, Juniper is a tamed fox, a genetic variant originally bred for fur farming. These foxes have over 4,000 genetic differences from wild foxes, making them more docile. Juniper was the runt of her litter and wasn't intended for farming, which led to her becoming a beloved pet. Black Mamba Pet. Aletta Stacy from Putnam Lake had a real passion for reptiles, with over 70 snakes in her collection, including the infamous Black Mamba. Despite warnings, she kept it around. One day, her boyfriend found her unresponsive at home and quickly called for help. Turns out, the mamba had slipped out of its cage, and in a moment of mischief, had managed to bite her. With the venom spreading quickly, it's tough to say if anything could have been done in time. Snake handling gone wrong. Boomage, a 60-year-old from Assam, India, was always up for an adventure, but holding a king cobra might have been pushing it. The snake had been causing quite a stir in the village, and while the locals urged Boomage to let go, he stubbornly held on. The cobra, after being a bit too patient, decided it had enough and gave Boomage a little reminder of its power. Before long, Boomage found himself needing some serious help. The villagers were hesitant to step in, with the cobra still keeping a watchful eye on anyone who got too close. It took a while for help to arrive, leaving everyone a little more cautious about such risky encounters. Jeep.
4-year-old saw it and she said she looks just like a butterfly because she has so many colors.
Ever heard of a Jeep? No, it's not a typo. A Jeep is an incredibly rare hybrid between a goat and a sheep, and Arizona's butterfly might just be the only one in the state. This unusual mix of animals combines traits from both and a feisty goat-like personality. Butterfly's birth is a rare occurrence since it's tough for goats and sheep to breed due to their genetic differences. But when it happens, you get something like Butterfly, a fascinating blend of two species. Butterfly's life is proof that nature can still surprise us in the most unexpected ways.
So I'm assuming he's gonna stay in that area.
Gila Monster.
Judy, how friendly are you? You're not too bad.
This woman recently bought a new pet, a Gila Monster. She went all out, setting up the perfect home for her new scaly friend, with plenty of space and the right environment for it to thrive. Gila Monsters aren't your average pet, but with her love and care, they're already forming an unbreakable bond. From making sure the temperature's just right to giving it all the attention it needs, they're in it for the long haul.
Hello? Do you want to go in here? I know it's a new scary place.
Kangaroo. O'Doherty, an Australian comedian with almost 2 million followers on Facebook, has a pet red kangaroo named Damien. Together, they've become social media stars, sharing their fun adventures like playing outside, making sandcastles, and even stopping for gas. While Damien might not be the fiercest pet out there, he's definitely one of the coolest and most unusual. Their playful moments have made them a hit online, and people can't get enough of their unique friendship. Wolf Dog.
Since every encounter I had with the random people on the street, everyone was like, is this a wolf?
A wolf dog hybrid, like Kane, a Czechoslovakian wolf dog, brings a mix of loyalty, endurance, and energy into the home. Tom, who owns Kane, shares his experience of living with this breed, explaining how they're highly active and need a lot of attention. The Czechoslovakian wolf dog, a blend of Carpathian wolf and German shepherd, is known for its fearlessness and devotion, especially to its first owner. If you're considering adopting one, make sure you're ready for the challenges and rewards that come with a wolf dog. Jake the hyena. Brian Hand's story of owning a hyena named Jake is definitely one for the books. After working for 2 weeks in Fort Lauderdale to earn the money, he got Jake, a wild pet with icy black eyes and sharp fangs. Brian kept the hyena illegally in his apartment for 11 months until the noise became too much to handle. The costs of caring for Jake became too much, and after struggling to find a home, a wildlife foundation took him in. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. An expert was out in the woods when he came across a huge snake. At first, he thought it was just another ordinary snake, but then he realized it was a rare yellow one. So, he decided to take it home and make it his new pet. Fast forward, and the snake's grown so big it practically owns the house now. Guess who's the real boss around here? The expert might have thought he was getting a pet, but it looks like he got a giant, slithery roommate instead.